This week, Ice-T gets attacked by police. Axl Rose has his own trouble with the law. Jeff Beck learns he has incurable ear damage. Delight gets serious with its new album. Izzy Stradlin previews his new band for us. And the MTV Movie Awards rock Hollywood. Hi, I'm Tabitha Soren, and this is The Week in Rock. Ice-T had been rapping about the strained relations between blacks and police in his native south-central Los Angeles long before the Rodney King verdict brought the issue to a violent head. Now Ice-T has incurred the wrath of Texas police because of his song Cop Killer from the recent Body Count album. Glenn White of the Dallas Policemen's Association has called for a nationwide boycott of products distributed by Ice-T's label, Warner Brothers, and his parent company, Time Warner. On Tuesday, White sent a letter to Warner's president saying, "When you hear of another police officer getting shot, I hope you ask yourself if the song Cop Killer had anything to do with it." Warner's has issued a statement defending its artist's right to free speech. Ice-T has not been available for comment, but he did speak with us earlier this year about the song Cop Killer, and the head of the Combined Law Enforcement Association of Texas spoke out Thursday morning at a Dallas press conference.
It's a shot at the cops who basically are out of control. It's not, you know, and when I do the song, I make sure I say, yo, there's some good cops out there, you know. I ain't gonna lie, but there's cops out there that are using their badge to fill up their insecurities that they've had ever since they were a little punk kid, and they became a cop just in order to do that. And they take those badges and they try to play God with them, you know. Cops don't go to jail for murder, we do, you know. They get laid off.
If David Duke and the Stormtroopers showed up there tomorrow and want to do a song, Let's Kill All the Jews, they wouldn't produce that record because it's morally reprehensible. They would not produce a song to kill disabled people. They would not produce a song to kill black people, or Hispanics, or women, or children.
Also at odds with law enforcement is Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose, who is still wanted in St. Louis due to that riot at a GNR show last summer. Axl was charged with assault and property damage after he dove into the crowd. A Columbia, South Carolina prosecutor said this week that at the request of St. Louis authorities, he will extradite Axl to Missouri if need be when the Guns Metallica tour comes to town August 2nd. Guns N' Roses publicist says Axl will surrender himself to St. Louis prosecutors, but won't say when. Axl himself spent most of this week in bed in London after a doctor determined that he was suffering from exhaustion. The band had to postpone a UK show from Tuesday to this weekend. Guitar great Jeff Beck was supposed to take part in the Guns N' Roses pay-per-view last weekend, but he didn't, even though he was in Paris and he did rehearse with the band. Beck could not perform as promised because after nearly 30 years of playing, he has developed hearing loss. The pain in his ears after rehearsing with Guns N' Roses was so great that Beck could not go on with the show. He was able to speak with Kurt Loder about it, though.
I had a hearing test and I've lost some severe high-end. And
is it like Pete Townshend's thing, tinnitus?
Oh, he's his worst. Yeah, I've got tinnitus. You know, it's a constant hissing in the ears, and they don't know how to get rid of it.
Wow.
Because they just don't. You know, there's drugs available, but they don't do anything.
You had mentioned this to like Slash or anybody to like turn down.
They're going to get it.
Yeah.
You know, as sure as we're standing here, they're all going to get it, and probably millions of other people.
This is the curse of rock and roll, I guess.
Yes, it's the powerful systems that are now here, and people. They think their ears will work hard and adjust to it, but they won't. The ear hearing mechanism that we've got is the same as it was in the Iron Age.
Yeah, right.
And, now we've got the Metal Age.
Jeff Beck did not say how the tinnitus in his ears might affect his playing. For those on stage and in the audience, earplugs seem like the best, perhaps only way to reduce the chance of hearing loss. In tour news, the Black Crowes are in Japan right now and will tour here later this summer. We dropped by rehearsals in LA just before they left to get a preview.
The Black Crowes' second album, The Southern Harmony and Musical Companion, entered the Billboard album charts at #1, which is cause for celebration for most people. The Black Crowes, however, are not impressed.
You know, that's sort of an odd situation to be in if I say, man, we're so happy to be #1 that I'm going to run out and buy myself a car that drives faster than anything you can see.
The record sells 40 million or 400 copies, you know, it's like, I don't care. The important thing is that Chris and I like to listen to it at home. And that sounds good to us and something that we can be proud of.
I don't know. It's all right. I want to go on the road, you know.
Give the folks back.
If you have to have a #1 record to go out on tour, then okay, I'll accept it.
So in preparation for their upcoming High as the Moon World Tour, the Crowes have been rehearsing in L.A.
We hate rehearsals. There's no party after rehearsals. I mean, you just sort of, you know, get back in the van and drive back to the hotel and sing 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. Yeah, until everyone's crying. We honestly do want to have a different night every night. We want to have the best show every night, you know? I want to blow everyone in my band's mind every night, and that means I want to blow everyone's mind. And I want them to go, wow, wow, you know? If that kills you, that kills you. If it makes you go crazy, it makes you go crazy. If your teeth fall out, you smell of urine, and you go bald, so be it.
Consider yourself warned or something. And true to their ideals, the Crowes won't allow any corporate sponsorship of their tour.
Well, I mean, it's greed. You make a lot of money, you know, but I feel that you make enough money if you sell records and make good music and go on the road and people dig it. Why, you know, what am I going to do with even more, you know? I mean, you get paid for what you do, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know that's a very strange concept, but, I mean, I guess we are insane enough to sort of live by that, you know?
The Black Crowes' U.S. tour kicks off July 24th in Minneapolis. In legal news, British rock band The Cult has responded to being sued last week by an 11-year-old Sioux Indian boy and his family for $61 million. The family claimed unauthorized use of the boy's photo on the band's latest album, Ceremony, and in a music video from the album. Cult frontman Ian Astbury, who is part Native American himself, dismisses the suit and says the band had authorization to use the photograph.
The release forms were signed and everything by the family. It was done about 8 years ago. The photograph was commercially available in the book. The photographer has retained the rights for the past 8 years. There was a commercially available poster of the image even before we were even interested in using the image. So I think it's just somebody sniffing around to try and exploit the current trend of Native Americans suing either corporations or sports teams, and in this case, you know, a musical group. So we've just been caught in a web, and I've been involved in supporting Native issues since I was 11 years old.
Ian Astbury of The Cult. We'll put you in the hands of our sponsors right now, but when we return, we'll hear music from Izzy Stradlin's new record. Delight takes on the problems of the world. The Rio Earth Summit tries to. And MTV's Movie Awards show lets the stars shine a little brighter. But first, here's a look at this week's new releases. In a dream.
There is nothing, I think, worse than kissing your lover and finding a pair of dry, parched lips. Therefore, it is incumbent on lovers to lubricate the mouth area. Oftentimes, this action is involuntary. As the lips meet, the nerve endings in an excited state of anticipation activate the saliva membranes.
MTV Buzz Clips. Watch the video and see what the buzz is about on MTV.
The Weekend Rock is brought to you by the Super Soakers from Laramie. They're water guns of a higher caliber. By Payday Candy Bar. Payday's almost totally nuts. And by Nexus. When it comes to style, it's unmistakably Nexus.
the stuff does to my hair.
Hey,
Excuse me.
buy some of that too?
So did it kiss you? Sis. This stuff is great.
I saw you leak them last night.
Perfect.
Nexus, styling.
Did I forget to invite you to the pool party? Well, maybe next year.
On those occasions when you need to make a big splash, there's the Super Soaker 100. It has a powerful air pressure system,
Oh, Buffy!
a range of up to 60 feet, and a drenching spray. The Super Soaker 100.
It's a water gun of a higher caliber.
Also the 50, or the ultimate, the 200.
Sprite with lime. A little more fun than what you're used to.
I do. I do.
Cinnamon freshman.
I do. I do. Who wants Trident?
I do.
I do. I do.
Good for your teeth. Great taste too.
Who wants Trident?
I do.
And I do. Making you real.
Welcome back to the Week in Rock. Former Guns N' Roses guitarist Izzy Stradlin, who left the band in the midst of its tour last winter, has been working on his debut solo album. His band includes Rick Richards on lead guitar, Jimmy Ashhurst on bass, Charlie Quintana on drums, and Izzy's co-producer Eddie Ashworth on mandolin. We got an idea of what it might sound like when we drop by the Chicago studio where Izzy and his band have been recording. Izzy's debut solo album should be out later this year, when Kurt Loder will also conduct an in-depth interview with him. Meanwhile, in dance music land, Delight, the New York trio whose debut album was such a surprise smash hit, is on the way back with a follow-up called Infinity Within. It'll be out in 2 weeks, and it contains some surprises, along with the neo-psychedelic techno groove we've come to expect. Delight recently gave us this preview. It's been 2 years since Delight stormed both the dance floor and the charts with Groove Is in the Heart and their debut album World Click. Now they're back with their new single and video, Runaway.
What the song is about is you can't really run away from yourself. So you may, if you don't like the situation in this town, you run away, chances are you're not going to like the situation in the next town. You know? So it's just basically saying life is what you make it.
Take me away, release me from the cage.
We're playing with the ideas of the mystery circles, the cop circles, because they're supposedly, some people think that aliens have landed and made this shape. So it's a mystery of what made the circle. I think it's a common fantasy for people to want to think of leaving this planet.
For those of us who can't leave this planet, there are some serious issues with which to grapple, and believe it or not, these dance-crazy devotees of fun and fashion address some of those issues on the new album, Infinity Within.
Rubber Lover is the first techno safe sex song. We like to have safe sex, and we practice it quite often.
We've always supported sex education. You know, we never thought people would ever stop having sex. So we were at least saying, trying to encourage people to have safe sex. That wouldn't happen.
Oh, baby boy. Oh, baby boy. Are you registered, baby?
The American dream has turned into a nightmare, and we need to really take care of our people here. You know, so we're hoping that we'll find a more compassionate politician. We wrote it for the first album, but because we couldn't get the environmental packaging at the time, we decided to wait and try to get it this time, and I'm happy to say that it's got the Echo Pack.
This particular packaging doesn't have a long box, what was known as a long box.
Which
instead
usually people would just throw away anyway.
Yeah, when it's displayed in the stores, it's going to be displayed like that. Then this breaks down into a regular CD package. Here it is, Infinity Within, baby.
In fact, Delight's Infinity Within will be the first album released in the Echo Pack format when it arrives in stores on June 23rd. And more dance-oriented news, the British duo The Pet Shop Boys made a rare U.S. concert appearance Monday night in New York City. They joined rappers Salt and Pepper in an AIDS benefit for Lifebeat, the music industry's first AIDS activist group. Take a look.
We organized Lifebeat so that we could help people with AIDS, not just in the music business, but any person with AIDS. The Pet Shop Boys committed to do this. They have done AIDS benefits. They're with us. We're one community. They are the first act to be here. Everyone said, oh, that's negative. It's not negative, it's positive. It came from the heart.
We thought it was a good cause. I think it's good the music industry is helping people in the music industry who've got AIDS.
We're just glad that they asked us to come and do our song, Let's Talk About AIDS. We're gonna fight. We're gonna tell you how you can get it and how you won't. All of the do's and all of the don'ts.
I hope that other artists, I hope your other artists out there can find it in your hearts to help join me, a person with AIDS, a gay man, an activist, a man from the music business, to help us in this fight against AIDS.
The government's not going to help, so everybody has to pool their resources and pool their talents and their creativity and come up with ways to fight AIDS.
Anybody who's in any way connected with the media, the more they can do to increase people's awareness, the better.
When you have a benefit for trees or something that's pediatric or something to do with the ozone, people come out. But when it comes to AIDS, AIDS has been something we had to shame people into. And I'm just happy that the music industry provided an atmosphere tonight that we can come out and say we'll help each other fight this incredible and awful disease.
The Lifebeat show raised over $100,000, which will be distributed to New York area AIDS relief efforts. Meanwhile, President Bush flew to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil on Thursday for the last 4 days of the United Nations Earth Summit, which began on June 3rd. On the way to Rio, Bush stopped off in Panama, where he was greeted by tear gas from a clash between police and anti-American protesters. The U.S. was already seen as the bad guy by most of the world's emissaries at the Rio Summit because of Bush's insistence that business get as much protection as the environment. Meanwhile, some groups are dismissing the summit itself as a bit of a sham. Here's more from our colleagues at MTV Brazil.
Outside the Earth Summit itself is the Global Forum, an alternative mini-summit where various activist groups are trying to make their voices heard, such as People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals.
Everybody wants to help the environment, and the best thing an individual can do to help the environment is take steps in their personal life. Becoming a vegetarian and helping reserve the Earth's resources for more important reasons is a very, very important step to take.
Many at the Global Forum dismissed the Earth Summit as a lot of political posturing. Midnight Oil said the same thing in dropping out of last weekend's summit concert, but a show did go on, featuring Milton Nascimento, a giant of Brazilian music. And while Brazilian music star Gilberto Gil toured the Greenpeace boat, another boat sailed into Rio bearing messages from those who will inherit the world we've been polluting.
We had essays, poems, drawings, paintings, video tapes, sound tapes, sculptures, and they all expressed how children all over the world are concerned for the future, for the environment.
Speaking of messages from children, delegates at the Earth Summit actually watched this music video from a 13-year-old Los Angeles-based actress-singer, Love Hewitt, and a bunch of other child stars.
Music video at the Earth Summit. We'll take another break right now, but still to come, highlights of MTV's first annual Movie Award show. And a former Beatle returns to the road with lots of friends and family. Stick around.
You're watching The Weekend Rock, but up next we got the long-awaited MTV Movie Awards. We're going to repeat it. There's going to be tons of stars, hosted by Dennis Miller. It's a lot of fun, so stay tuned.
The Weekend Rock is brought to you by the Super Soakers from Laramie. They're water guns of a higher caliber. By Payday Candy Bar. Payday's almost totally nuts. And by Nexus. When it comes to style, it's unmistakably Nexus.
Did I forget to invite you to the pool party? Well, maybe next year.
On those occasions when you need to make a big splash, there's the Super Soaker 100. It has a powerful air pressure system.
Oh, Buffy!
A range of up to 60 feet. And a drenching spray. The Super Soaker 100.
It's a water gun of a higher caliber.
Also the 50, or the ultimate, the 200.
Style it.
Let's talk about career education. Oh, I know you've heard all the claims, but do the other schools prepare you for what you really want? An exciting career? New England Tech specializes in high-tech, business, construction, and automotive career education. 50 years of experience will work for you. If you're interested in career education, you're going to call New England Tech at 467-7744. That's 467-7744.
Ready for the perfect vacuum cleaner? Here it is, the new Dirt Devil Power Pack. The convenience of a canister vacuum with a power nozzle that adjusts to any surface. Get power and convenience with Power Pack. It's new from Dirt Devil.
Available at House of Vax, you will find a large display of the finest vacuum cleaners made today. The House of Vax also has a complete repair and parts department. House of Vax sells and installs central vac systems. Need a new vacuum? Remember House of Vax, Acushnet Avenue, New Bedford.
Slices it, Julien's. Yes, overnight, bring your favorite music at home. Reduces pain and neuritis and neuralgia. Sold in a new store. Act now to see this crucial talking model. Appointment prohibited by law. Operators are standing by.
Welcome back to The Week in Rock. Look out, Oscar. MTV held its first annual Movie Awards Wednesday night, and it proved to be a memorable showcase for star power, sass, and Shatner. Here now, a look back at some of the highlights.
So, the MTV Movie Awards. I got to hurry up and get this one out of the way. I'm hosting another ceremony later tonight, the American Movie Classics Headbangers Ball.
It's fun. It's a good approach to an award show because it's not taking itself too seriously and is just interesting to hear this. You guys start with this moving around. I get crazy.
It's very, very funny, very fresh, very original. Like some of the categories quite a bit.
Most desirable male.
And the winner is Keanu Reeves.
What a wacky award.
Best kiss.
There is Macaulay Culkin, Anna Shlumsky, my girl.
Gee, my first kiss and I get an award.
Best on-screen duo.
And the winner is Dana Carvey and Mike Myers.
Mike Myers, congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. I promised myself I wouldn't cry. And I won't. I won't cry.
You're never gonna get it. Not this time. You're never gonna get it. My love. You're never gonna get it.
Best comedic performance.
And the winner is Billy Crystal.
The Oscars could learn a few things from this show. I'm having a great time. This is terrific. I want to thank everybody who voted for me and not Ross Perot.
Best villain.
For Best Villain, Police Chief Daryl Gates. Now, seriously, Rebecca De Morgan. It's nice to see a black man get some justice for a change.
Best male performance.
And the winner is Arnold Schwarzenegger for Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Thank you to all the MTV viewers who had this incredible good taste.
We got a relationship. We talk to each other every night and day. Although you're superior over me, we talk to each other in a friendship.
Best female performance.
And the winner is Linda Hamilton.
I love it, and long live MTV.
Best movie.
And the winner is Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
The only guy who had a bigger night than you, Jim Cameron, was William Shatner. William Shatner had a very big night. Yeah, he was styling.
Best song.
You could be mine. Everything I do it for you.
And the winner is Everything I Do for You.
Bryan Adams.
And I'll see you at the movie.
In other news, Ringo Starr is back on the music scene. He's hit the road to support his first album in 9 years, aptly titled Time Takes Time. He's showcasing his all-star band, featuring his son, Zach Starkey, on drums, and lots of famous friends. At a recent rehearsal, Ringo told us having all those other guys on hand sure makes things easy for him.
Carry the weight of the world. It's breaking you down on your back like a boulder.
I'm getting positive again. I'm getting direction again, and I'm doing what I dreamt I wanted to do when I was 13, and I'm having fun again. That's the main thing.
We could fly so high.
Okay, that's enough of that one, thank you. That's a little bit of that. See, the boys get so excited. They just want to do the whole deal.
It's too late for me now if it isn't going to be fun. I don't want to do it, and it's a thrill to get up there and just be drumming behind all these, the really good musicians, and then they all support you. And, the people who didn't see it, the format is I'm not up there for 2 hours. I do a couple of numbers at the front and go back and play while everybody else has a sing. And then I'll do a few from the drums, and then I come down at the end again and do some from there. I can really relax behind it. You have all that pressure when you're out in the front, and then you come back and I send Joe Walsh to the front, and he comes back after he's had a little sweat, and now we'll send Todd Rundgren to the front. So it's everyone, it's really a relaxed atmosphere.
Do I do when my love is away?
Finally, Democrats Democratic presidential candidate Bill Clinton will be taking part in MTV's first presidential forum. President Bush and Ross Perot are considering invites to hold their own forums with us. The Choose or Lose special, Facing the Future with Bill Clinton, will air this Tuesday, June 16th at 10 p.m. East and West. Clinton will spend an hour answering questions from 200 18 to 24-year-olds in Los Angeles. Don't miss it. That's it for This Week in Rock. We'll be back Monday at 8 p.m. with The Day in Rock, and we hope to see you then.